Joy Guru, I am Amalendu Chatterjee, an ex-associate professor in zoology and SPR. I do discuss religious or spiritual or related topics as far as my knowledge goes. I have no intention to hurt anybody's sentiment. I would request you to treat my deliberation as mere discussion only. Do subscribe to this channel of mine, namely Onukul Kotha, if you like the content. Today, I would like to tell you a story. The story is written by Bibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay, a very famous writer in Bengali literature. I cannot tell the story, you see, in exact fashion. Whatever I have recalled, I would tell that. You see, the name of the story is, in Bengali, Tuchho. In English, if I may translate it, in English, it means trivial or trifle. Now, the story begins like this, that while the writer was busy inspecting some documents, a girl came and the writer could not identify, could not spot that girl, as because he didn't see her anywhere, though he thought that this girl might be the girl of his own village. She was married, though she was only 13 or 14 years old. And as mark of marriage, vermilion was on the part of the hair of her head, and bangli of wrist made up of conch shell was also there. She wore a colored sari, and she had dark blue complexion, and she was slim. And the writer ultimately asked, "Whose daughter are you?" The girl, before answering, got bashful and casted her eyes downward and mildly said, "I am the daughter of Vishwanath Kamar." Kamar means blacksmith. That means a blacksmith named Vishwanath. And the writer, however, understood and said, "Oh, you are the daughter of Vishu. Well, but you are married so early. Where is your father-in-law's house?" The girl replied, "It is in Naranpur." Then the writer asked, Which Naranpur? Is it Khibe Naranpur?" The girl replied affirmative. And then the writer again asked, "Well, when have you come from your father-in-law's house?" And the girl replied, "Just day before yesterday." And then the writer was very much pleased with that girl and said, "Well, go inside the house and talk to other members." And the girl entered into the house. And after a while, when the writer entered in the interior of his room, he saw that the girl was seated on the floor of one room of the interior of the house, and she was absorbed. She was fully absorbed in seeing pictures that were hanging up on the wall. Now, the writer understood that none of his family members did talk to her. Or might be that initially they did talk to her, but they didn't think it prudent to talk to her for long time. After all, she was the daughter of a blacksmith. Now the writer, then the girl, however, suddenly asked the writer that who's pointing to a particular picture, see what is this picture? Then the writer replied that this is my photo. The girl answered, "So it is your picture." The writer, however, understood that the girl did not understand the term photo. However, he said, "Yes, it is my picture." Then the girl again asked, who have drawn it?" You see, before taking the answer, the girl again casted her eyes to a particular picture. And the picture was an advertisement of a cigarette company where a Mem Sahib was smoking a cigarette. Pointing to that particular picture, that girl asked the writer that what is Mem Sahib doing? The writer answered, "The Mem Sahib is smoking cigarette." Then the girl got bashful and said, "See, do ladies smoke cigarette?" Then the writer answered, "Well, Mem Sahibs do smoke cigarette. Have you seen any Mem Sahib?" And the girl replied, "Yes, I have seen. Once I have seen And the writer asked, "Where have you seen?" Then the girl answered, "I have seen her at Ranaghat station. She was seated, in a compartment of a train, and how white she was." So this was the conversation, and then the writer went away for his own work. And after an hour, when the writer again entered into their room, he saw to his wonder that the girl was still seated on the floor of the house. And he immediately understood that none of the family members, did give any attention to her. But still, she had nothing to complain against anybody. She was fully, delighted and delightful. But the writer got pain. The writer, got hurt. And it was bath time, however. But then, suddenly something happened. In the heart of the writer. And the writer took a bottle full of scented oil or perfumed oil and called the girl and asked the girl, would you massage your hair with this perfumed oil? The girl simply got astonished, got surprised, because no one, did call him in such affectionate voice, in such tender voice, particularly if that person is a Brahmin person. Actually, and then the girl, however, said, "Yes, uncle." And the writer, called him to come close to him, and to her wonder, the writer was massaging her hair with his own hands. Massaging her hair with that particular oil with his own hands. And the girl, got absolutely delighted, cheerful. And then the writer asked, "What sort of oil is this?" And the girl answered, "Oh, it's superfine." Then after some time, the girl said, "Well, let me go now, uncle." And the writer said, "Well, you may go, but you must come whenever you get the time." And the girl went away. And while the writer, he was going to take bath, and while bathing, he got suddenly, within the river, he got a sudden unexpected, untested pleasure, immense pleasure, untold pleasure, unexplained pleasure. And when he casted his eyes towards the sky, the sky was absolutely clear and blue, and he saw a delightful, a very beautiful speech or motto was written, on the sky. And he was amused and, absolutely surprised, absolutely astonished when he saw that the same speech, that the same motto was written on the heart of his own heart. That means that, the writer got absolutely, surprised, absolutely astonished to see the striking resemblance of the two speeches. Though, one speech which was written, on the blue sky outside, while the other speech which was written on his heart, that is within the interior portion of his body. So both the speeches were absolutely same. And suddenly the writer, the writer said, "See how much amount of oil that I have given to her, but this is the reward." And then the writer, has commented like this, that what a nice day today for me, what a beautiful day for me today. So this is more or less the essence of the story. Now, I would like to explain the reason why the writer got such immense pleasure, such immense delightment, such immense enjoyment. What is the reason? What are the probable reasons? I may be wrong, I must say, at the outset. But I would try to explain the reason why. Now, in this connection, I can recall a passage which has been written by Sri Thakur Anukula Chandra in his only book named Satyanusaran. And the passage is more or less like this, that don't drive away the person who has come to you to solicit something, to pray something. You see, give some amount of money, or say some motivational speech so that courage, you can bring courage to his or her heart, or give solace, or say some sympathetic words, or if nothing else, then say few sweet words. Gives at least one, then your heart would be tender, your heart would be soft. This is the message, but this is the passage. Now, I think the underlying message of the passage, if we can understand, this is precisely the reason why we can say the underlying message of this passage is the reason why that the floodgate of enjoyment, the floodgate of delightment, actually was opened up from the heart of the writer. We must understand that we have storehouse of delightment, storehouse of enjoyment within our hearts. The only thing that you need to unlock that storehouse. And the key to unlock this storehouse is nothing but to do some unselfish work. Swami Vivekananda stated that, unselfishness is the other name of spiritualism. I am not quoting the exact words, I am quoting just the essence. He has stated that unselfishness is the other name of spiritualism. Whenever you do something unselfish, that means that you have done something spiritual. In Bhagavad Gita also Lord Krishna has stated about the niskam karma. It is same thing, that is, you must do something unselfish. Now if you close, as Sri Thakur Ankul Chanda stated that, you must not drive a person who has come to you to solicit something, to pray something. You must not drive him empty-handed. Give something. You can offer financial help if you can, or if that person actually needs it, or give some amount of courage to a depressed heart, or give solace to a bereaved heart, or show some sympathetic treatment towards him or her, or if nothing else, then say a few sweet words. At least give something. You must not drive him or her empty-handed. Now, what would be the consequence? What would be the result? Result would be that your heart would be tender, your heart would be soft. And the moment your heart would be soft, the moment your heart would get tender, then the floodgate, you can say the storehouse of the enjoyment, the storehouse of the delightment would automatically open up. This is the, you can say the mystery behind the entire scenario. That if we can closely examine the entire story of Vibhuti Bhushan, you must understand that you must not take this story as his personal life, as his personal story. No, it is simply a story. Take it as simple story, nothing else. Now, in this case, what happened actually? This girl, the girl came to the writer's house actually to talk with particularly the female family members, and she wanted some amount of appreciation. I may be wrong, but I think that most of the village girls, they remain shy before marriage, but just after marriage, they suddenly become a little bit smart. And this girl actually had come from her father-in-law's house just a few days ago, and she was roaming from one house to another house to her own village. Why? Because she wanted some amount of appreciation. She wanted that some of the, the family members, particularly the female family members, they should exchange few sweet words with her. She actually expected, but she didn't get it. The writer, however, did understand her agony, her pain, and that was the reason why writer did something absolutely unselfish. And what did writers actually do? The writer actually gave some little amount of oil, and he himself actually by his own hands he was massaging her hair with that scented or perfume oil without expecting any return. You must know it. Sri Thakur Ankul Chanda has also stated that you must give something to others without expecting any return from him. Only then your donation would be fruitful. Otherwise not. If you want any return from him or her, that you have done something, that you won't get something. Not only that, while you give it with respect. But the tragedy is this: whenever a person comes to us for, let's say, for financial help, we do help financial. You see, we do something, but while we should do financial help, we never think that we do it with. We must respect him or her. Why? After all, he has come to take something, and I am the donor. Why should I be respectful to her? But this, as Sri Thakur Ankur Chandra stated, that you must give him with respect. That he is good enough. He is good enough to come to you to open the storehouse of delightment. To open the storehouse of delightment. So I think in this case, for example, the writer did a very, I should say, truthful job. That is, he gave a little amount of scented oil, but he did it without expecting, you see, slightest return. And what happened? The result is that he got immense pleasure because he did something unselfish. So therefore, what I want to say, that again, it is more or less the rule, or you can say it is more or less the, people used to say that if you do something unselfish for the people will not give you any credit for that. It will be your sheer colossal loss. But is it really so? If you really do something unselfish without expecting any sort of return for that, any sort of, you see, you must not expect any return from that. You have done something selflessly, and there ends the matter. If you do like this, then you must get the results. That's for sure. You see, you need not the results will automatically come. And not only that, if you invest money in the bank, you will get, you see, maybe double amount of money or triple amount of money after a few period of time, or after few years of time, or after a period of time. But if you do a little bit of unselfish work, you will get, see, multiple, you will get return in multiple ways, in very many ways. You can't even imagine the return. Yes, you see, and the return is to get, you see, pure enjoyment, pure delightment. This is what is the, you can say elixir. I should say, this is the beauty of doing unselfish work. You must forget whatever the people would say to you, that you must not do any unselfish work. You must do unselfish work, but without getting any return, without expecting any return, any return. And you must do it with full respect. Because the nature will give you, the nature will offer you. If none, if you can say this nature as God, as supreme being, whatever you may call it. Even if you have no faith in God, in the existence of God, no matter. After all, nature will give you. Because everything, you see, if you give something, you will get return also. But you must give it without expecting any return, and without, and with respect. And then you will get. So I think the mystery behind behind the entire scenario, that the writer got immense pleasure, untold pleasure, unexplained pleasure, is because of this fact that, however, that the writer did some unselfish job, did something unselfish, and that acted as key to unlock the storehouse of the enjoyment, or you can say delightment. So, live in love. Joy Guru.